All right, let's dive into one of the most important parts of the Associate Project Manager Apprenticeship, Knowledge Standard K26. We're going to break down what it really means to evaluate project success and, maybe more importantly, how you can actually prove you know your stuff. So let's get into it. First things first, I want you to meet Jody. She's an Associate Project Manager Apprentice over at a company called Ibis Stores. And, just like a lot of you, she's working hard, learning on the job, and getting ready for her endpoint assessment, the EPA. That's the big final test of everything she's learned, right?
So, Jody's really trying to get to grips with this standard called K26. Now, on paper, it says it's about evaluating project success, but she's asking the exact right question. What on earth does that actually mean when you're in the middle of a real project with real deadlines and real people to answer to? That's what we're going to figure out together.
So let's follow Jody's journey. We're going to see exactly how she tackles this K26 challenge step by step. Okay, so here's the official definition. K26 is all about the principles for evaluating project success. But look, it's not just one thing. It's about understanding how we even define success in the first place and seeing the huge difference between just, delivering a thing versus achieving a real result. And the most crucial part, how we learn from everything that happened to make the next project run even smoother. To get some real clarity, Jody heads over to her line manager, a woman named Riddle. And this is where her whole understanding really starts to click into place. Riddle makes it so simple, it's brilliant. She just gives Jody 2 questions to ask. First, what was the output? Or in plain English, did we do the thing we said we were going to do? In this example, yep, the new marketing campaign is launched. Check. But then comes the real question. What was the outcome? Did it actually work? Did that campaign get more people walking into the store? That is the true measure of success. And this is the key takeaway. Success has so many different dimensions. Riddle explains that it's just not enough to be on time and on budget. I mean, think about it. You could launch a brand new app for your company, hit the deadline perfectly, come in under budget, but if nobody downloads it or it doesn't actually help sales, was it a success? No way. That's why we also have to ask, did it meet our quality standards? Did we deliver everything we promised? And here are the really big ones. Did it achieve the benefits the business was counting on? And are our key stakeholders happy? A project can take all the boxes for time and cost and still be a total flop if it doesn't deliver real tangible value. So Jody's got a much better handle on what success looks like. Her next stop is with her mentor, Adam, to talk about how you actually learn from what's happened in the past. And Adam starts with something that is so important. He tells Jody that looking back on a project is not about pointing fingers. It's not a blame game. The whole entire point of a lessons learned meeting is to find the nuggets of gold in your experience that will make all your future projects that much better. It's a completely forward-looking, positive thing. So Adam gives Jody this super simple but really powerful 4-step guide. First, just review the facts. No drama, no opinions, just what happened. Second, talk about what went well and really dig into why so you can do it again. Third, figure out what could have gone better. And finally, and this is the part almost everyone forgets, create clear, actionable recommendations. Not just vague ideas like communicate better, but concrete steps for what to do differently next time. And then Adam really hammers home the most important point of all. A beautifully written lessons learned report that just sits in a digital folder somewhere? It's completely useless. The whole value, the entire point, comes from applying that new knowledge. Does it change how you kick off the next project? Does it help you spot a risk you might have missed before? That's the real test. Okay, so Jody has the knowledge. She gets it. Now comes the part that trips a lot of people up. She has to prove it. She sits down with her coach, Olivia, to learn how to show evidence of what she knows for her endpoint assessment. Olivia lays out all the practical, tangible evidence Jody can use for her portfolio. And this is pure gold for you, by the way. It could be things like your own personal reflections, explaining what you learned, or maybe summaries from those lessons learned meetings. But even better, a written explanation showing how a lesson from Project A directly changed a decision you made on Project B. That is powerful stuff. This is basically a sneak peek inside your assessor's brain. They are going to be looking for these 4 key things. Do you get that bigger picture success, that it's more than just time and money? Can you talk about those other success measures we mentioned? Do you really understand why lessons learned are so valuable? And the big one, the absolute clincher, can you give a solid example of how you applied something you learned? So, armed with all these amazing insights from Riddle, Adam, and Olivia, Jody is feeling ready. She's not just memorized theory, she's connected it to the real world, and she knows exactly how to prove it. So now she's in her assessment. The moment arrives. The assessor asks that classic K26 question. Tell me about a time you captured lessons learned from a project. This is her moment to shine.
And just look at her answer. It is perfect. She names the specific project, the IBIS marketing campaign. She points out the exact problem. The social media plan was too vague. She says exactly what the lesson was. They needed more specific targets. And then crucially, she shows how she applied it. For the next project, I ensured our plan included clear, measurable KPIs from the start. Boom, she absolutely nailed it. That single answer shows the entire cycle of learning and then improving.
So, what's the big takeaway from Jody's story? Well, evaluating project success is all about looking past the finish line to see the real value you created. And learning from your experience, that's the single most powerful tool you have for your future projects. So now it's your turn. Go capture your lessons, find the evidence for your success, and walk into that assessment with total confidence. You are ready, you've got this.